And there was the news yesterday afternoon that United Airlines is going where no airline has gone for a couple of years. They have permanently eliminated their change fees for domestic flights. Could cost you up to $200 if you had bought a ticket and then you wanted to change it. That's out the window, no change fee. And they're also starting January of next year, you'll be able to go standby for free. You won't, that's on domestic, by the way, you won't have to pay a fee. Brian Cheung, will we see the other airlines do this? Because like American is saying they will evaluate the options ahead of them.
Well, first of all, the remarkable thing about this announcement is that United does say it's permanent. Of course, color me skeptical. Anything permanent in the airline industry might only be covering a period of 5 to 10 years. But it is pretty remarkable that United is trying to win customers over by getting rid of these fees that have been basically industry standard over the last 10 years. If you ever tried to change your ticket, you know how difficult it is from a technical standpoint just to reach a human being on the phone. But then secondly, the pain that it puts on your wallet with these change fees. So United's saying that they'll be waiving that or won't be requiring those types of fees for most fares. I do want to note that if you're paying for a basic economy fare on United, you will still have to pay a change fee if you do want to switch flights in addition to any sort of differences in the fare itself. So let's not necessarily say that this is a blanket. No one's ever going to pay a change fee ever again. But it is kind of interesting to see that as we get out of this rut that the airlines have faced during this COVID-19 crisis, they're trying to use things like getting rid of these fees to bring in new customers, even if that means lower margins.
Okay, Delta has not followed suit on the change fee situation, but they have extended their middle seat, and they did this 2 weeks ago, that they will not fill a middle seat until at least January of 2021, maybe even longer. I mean, airlines cannot make money by getting rid of the change fees or by not filling those middle seats. Is Delta making a mistake not filling the middle seat?
Well, I think you underscore exactly what the problem is there, is that there's a real trade-off between the revenue and then the safety implications of putting people and packing these airplanes and those middle seats. But this is where we've seen the divergence in the airline industry. So you have the likes of Delta, for example, changing their policies here. American Airlines, on the other hand, though, in addition to United, have said that they will start to put people in those middle seats. Then you have airlines kind of straddling the middle with Southwest saying it's almost going to be a best faith effort to try not to put people in there. Although if they need to accommodate last minute passengers, they will put people in those middle seats. So a lot of differences in kind of how the airlines are approaching this policy. I think that as we start to get through the end of this year, where airlines originally may have hoped that they could safely put passengers back on if the virus were contained nationwide, I think they're starting to see this might not be the case. Hence why you have a lot of these airlines extending their policies and saying, you know what, we're not going to put people in those middle seats. But as you mentioned, Adam, for those airlines that decide to do that, that is putting immense pressure on an airline industry that is already feeling the pain and having to rely on government support, as we've talked about at length on these programs.